Hi, Amanda Fisher with Xero tip number 4, GST codes. GST applies for most expenses, but there are some expenses for which GST does not apply. And Xero will automatically set up and default if you're adding new account codes with GST on expenses, and sometimes that isn't correct. So I just want to run through some of the main ones that do not have GST, so the GST free, and I'll go through those at the same time as making sure the settings are correct in Xero. So the first place to go is we go to settings and the chart of accounts. So settings and chart of accounts, and from there most of the ones that we have problems with tend to be expenses, so just to make it easier to find them, I'm going to go straight to the expenses categories. And this will then list down our expenses categories. The first one that we often have issues with is bank fees. Bank fees have two components. There's the component that's merchant fees, that are your credit card charges. Then there's your blank sort of monthly account statement type fees, and sometimes you'll have other fees from the bank. The basic monthly fees you pay to the bank have no GST in them and need to be classified as, in the GST coding here, as GST free expenses. When Xero adds in accounts, as I say, it automatically defaults to GST on expenses, but in the case of standard bank fees, GST free expenses is the correct category. So we're going to change that one and save that one and get that one fixed up. Again, the next one we normally look at is filing fees. This has got GST on expenses as well. Again, that isn't correct. Filing fees should be GST free, so we go into it, change it to GST free expenses, click on the save button, and we'll get that one fixed. Donations also, this is showing as BAS excluded. That's not correct. Donations do need to go on the BAS. They do need to be GST free expenses. So they need to be GST free expenses. The next one I wanted to look at down the list is rates and taxes. These are showing as input tax. Again, that's not correct. These need to be GST free expenses. I'm saving that one. And then we get to down the list again to wages and superannuation, and they do need to be BAS excluded. So basically every expense you need to double check, and you need to be looking when you're processing your purchases and bills that you are getting the right GST coding, but it will come automatically from what's showing in the chart of accounts. So a quick look at your chart of accounts to make sure that the right items that have GST free are supposed to be GST free. So they should be your standard basic bank fees, but not merchant fees, donations, entertainment, filing fees, interest expense, rates and taxes in terms of council rates, water rates, those types of rates, and international travel is usually GST free as well. In most cases there's no GST on anything that's international. Then the ones that you need to exclude from the BAS, so they're actually not included in your GST totals on your BAS return, are wages and superannuation. And interest expense. Also, depreciation is not included on a BAS return. Everything else is most likely to have GST on expenses code, but be wary of anything that you're buying from overseas because there will be no GST on that, and it is GST free. So this is a starting point for it in terms of getting the chart right. If you get this right, then most times you will get it right when you're processing your purchases through the Xero system. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you at Xero tip number 5.